Welcome to the Dr. Phil Show. We have a wonderful, wonderful show for you tonight. It's about the relationship between the father and his creature, Dr. Victor Frankenstein and the creature. That's what we're going to call him tonight. Hope you can join us. Stay tuned. Now our first guest is Dr. Victor Frankenstein. I'd like to introduce the creature. Alright, I'd like to introduce our first guest, the creature. Everyone give him a hand. How are you, creature?
Thanks for having me on the show.
You're welcome. Thank you for joining us.
Of course.
So I have a few questions for you before we begin. Do you think that your relationship with your father is the reason that you're such an angry person?
Well, I wouldn't say the relationship specifically, but I do think it has to do with a lot of my father's actions.
So, when you were created, your father abandoned you. Is this correct?
Yes, very much so. Pretty much got electrocuted to life and sent on my own.
He just disowned you. You see, that is just one of the terrible things that's happening in our society these days. All right, one more question before we bring your father in.
Yes.
Do you think that your relationship with him will ever be mended in any way?
I am hoping so. If I could have a relationship with my father, I believe it would change everything.
Do you think you're lacking the love from him?
Oh, I don't think there is any love to be lacked.
And why is it that you think your father does not love you the way he should?
I think that he just looked on the outside, saw the monster on the outside, but not the soul, goodful person on the inside.
And one last question. It's said to believe that you are the lonely, dark side of Victor's psyche. Do you believe with this? Do you understand where I'm coming from right now?
I would say the lonely side, but not the dark side.
All right, let's give a big hand for the creature. Thank you for joining us. All right, I'm standing backstage with Dr. Victor Frankenstein. How do you think this is going to go for you?
There's no way to tell. Depends on his actions. He's obviously really gross and ugly, so I don't know how the crowd's going to react to that.
That's a little rough, coming from Dad.
Well,
excuse me.
Pardon he didn't come out of my wife's womb.
He didn't come out of the uterus.
Yeah.
One of those grown-up jokes that we like to tell time to time. Okay, well, thank you for your time, and I'll see you back there.
All right, sounds good.
I'd like to welcome our next guest, Dr. Victor Frankenstein. Let's give him a hand. How you doing there, Victor?
Doing good there, man.
Awesome.
Hey, just sit down there, buddy.
Over there.
All right, let's get this done with.
So, Victor, creature, how would you guys say that your relationship is at this very moment in time?
I'll take this question.
Okay.
Basically, the relationship is I mean, do we get along? No.
Well, why is that? Where is the lack of love coming from? Is it from your father, Alphonse, who treated you so well? This is peculiar to me. Straight answer here.
I made him, and I didn't think he'd look so ugly when he came to life.
So he's not your son. You don't see him in that light.
No way, shape, or form.
Victor, do you think that Mr. Monster, the creature over here, has affected your mental state in any way?
Well, I think so. He killed my brother, for crying out loud.
I did not kill
Hey,
him.
you shut the up, alright?
Let's let Victor, express himself a little bit, okay?
My 10-year-old brother was in the park minding his own business,
okay,
and you killed him.
Now, Victor, I wanna get into a very sensitive issue. I heard that this is just the word on the street here, but your mental state was completely not where it was supposed to be. And why was that?
Well, after I created him, I was sick for 2 years. Just disgusted about what I created.
Were you
and not only that, he killed my youngest and most loved
But
brother.
whose fault was that?
That was your fault. You killed him.
Hold on, let's just cut to the deeper meaning of this. Were you disgusted with your self-image for creating such a being, for putting yourself in God's shoes, or were you disgusted with the monster himself?
I think it's a little of both.
That's okay.
How could
You
I
can
create
cry.
such
It's
a
okay.
disgusting being, but also, how could I live with myself for doing it? You know?
I understand. Do you think that your relationship will ever be mended back to a stable sense that everyone, both parties, can benefit from this?
No.
I think so. I believe so.
You do.
I believe
wrong.
it takes some compromising, but I think we could get there.
I think you can get there too. All right, we're going to take a quick commercial break. Thank you for joining us, guys. Just hold tight. We're going to get you some snacks. Anyone want some Nutella?
Oh, God! Jesus!
We now will be having an exclusive interview with Victor's younger brother, William Frankenstein. Let's give him a hand. How you doing? Take a seat right over
Appreciate
here.
it.
All right, how you doing today?
I'm good, sir. How are you?
I'm wonderful, thank you.
Thank you.
Your brother, when you were children, was he a normal, happy human being, or was he just filled with animosity and just lament towards everyone who knew him?
My brother was constantly just so fulfilled with life and so stoked on everything, and just a really, really great guy, and really happy and really intelligent, and always had...
How do you feel he is today?
Today he's lost in his mental state. He, ever since all this creation became of him, it became an obsession.
You were killed by this creation, were you not?
I was. It was quite savage.
Okay, and... Do you think this has affected your view of Victor and the creature?
Honestly, my views are kind of blurred now.
So, do you think that Victor will ever recover from this mental state? And do you think the creature and him will ever have a relationship ever again?
Honestly, that's just not going to happen.
It's not.
Me and Victor were so close, and I was such a big part of the family.
Yeah! Yeah! Woo! Yeah! Get it! Get off!
Thank you very much for your time.
No worries. I appreciate it, Dr. Phil. Have a good
And
one.
that was an exclusive interview with William right here.
Rogaine Triple Plus. It actually works.
Makes your hair grow at least 50 times what you want it to.
Before. After. I got so much hair it's stupid.
Welcome back to the Dr. Phil Show. We have another exclusive interview with Dr. Robert Walton. Let's give him a hand, folks. How you doing, man? Take a seat. Take a seat. Okay, all right. I just have a couple questions about Dr. Victor Frankenstein. Where did you first meet Victor?
Well, I rescued him out of the ocean.
Really? Was he on the ice or in the ocean?
On the ice, in the ocean.
Yeah. Okay, you know, it's very delusional being at sea for that long, writing so many letters to your lovely sister and all. What was your first impression of Victor?
This motherfucker can talk.
So, are you saying he was a very intelligent man, someone you could match up with?
Yeah, he's smart, but like, you ask him one question, he goes on for hours.
Are you talking about, did he tell you a story?
Like, he comes on my boat, and I ask him what the hell he's doing on a block of ice, and he goes on into some, like, shit about how he created a guy.
And you just, oh, that's rich.
He was nuts, man. Like, I know he's my friend, and I want to hear about his problems.
Okay.
But I want to talk too.
Were you interested in this story that he was telling you?
Kind of at the beginning, dragged on a bit.
Dragged down a bit.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you for your time. Thank you for coming out.
Appreciate
All the way
having
from
me.
the Arctic Circle there, buddy. All right. Thank you. And so, we have our next exclusive interview with Justine. Let's welcome Justine. Come on in. How are you?
Good, how are you?
Come on, take us. Justine, how did you feel about getting so wrongfully accused of murdering little William?
I mean, it was heartbreaking because I've grown up with him. I lived with the Frankensteins my whole life. They're like my second family, so...
What exactly did you do for the Frankensteins?
I was their servant.
You were their servant, but not really a servant. You were more part of the family.
Yes.
Do you know who murdered little William?
I don't.
You don't know?
I don't know.
Alright, that must have been very aggravating. How did Victor take that?
Victor was a mess. He definitely did not want to see me go to jail for being...
Yeah, that's terrible.
Innocent, yes.
Okay. How did you first come to meet Frankenstein?
Well, my father died when I was very young, and my mom hated me, so they found me and took me in.
Okay. That's a very touching story.
Yes.
Well, thank you for your time, man. We'd like to give her a hand.
Yeah, just
Thank you very much.
show that.
Alphonse, he is Victor's father. Now, Alphonse, I heard that your relationship with your son basically was very, very good. You were such a loving father. How do you think this affected him?
You know, he was a good kid, and then I loved him very much, and then when he went to boarding school, things kind of changed. It was a little different.
Things change. Yeah, lots of things change over a lifetime. Where do you think the issues started arising from?
Probably with the friends he made, you know. He made a couple of new friends, and when he came back, he was just really distant from me.
Okay. And when did he start getting involved in the scientific mumbo-jumbo?
Well, his grandfather was actually a scientist, and I think he picked up those genes from him. So, I mean, yeah, I think it just came to him naturally.
Okay, that's very interesting. Now, the creature, do you have anything to say about the creature?
You know, I don't know much about the creature. That's Victor's deal. You know, I try and stay out of it. So.
Okay, all right, that's very nice. But do you support him in whatever he does?
Yeah, of course, like any father would.
Okay, thank you for your time, everybody. Let's give a big hand to Frankenstein. I'm here with Elizabeth, and where did you first come in contact with the Frankensteins?
Well, my family was really poor, and so they took me in and adopted me.
That's very nice of them. Would you say that you and Victor were close?
Yeah, we became really close, and then as our relationship progressed, we started to like each other.
Love relationship going on there. Did that complicate things when the creature was brought into the picture?
Yeah, a little bit.
Okay.
I just worried about him a lot.
So, how did you take the death of your mother? I know that's such a hard situation when you're that young and your mother suddenly passed away.
Yeah, it was really hard. We were really close, and so it was really sad.
I'm very sorry to hear that. Now, I just have one last question for you. So, in the whole scheme of things, do you think you and Victor will ever work out?
Yeah, I hope so.
Yeah?
I don't really know, but hopefully.
You'll let it fly.
Yeah.
Let that bird out of its cage.
Exactly.
Giggity. All right, we are back with at the Dr. Phil Show with Mr. Dr. Frankenstein. Let's give him a hand. And the creature. All right, so in the end, guys, we need to come to some sort of ultimatum, some sort of compromise that either binds your relationship, puts you in a content state, or, you know what, sometimes it just never works out. So, do you think that anything will ever happen between you two?
I believe
not.
so.
I didn't
But
think
you
so.
put two electrical things on my titties and zap me to life.
That I did. Some bitch. Give you life. Oh my God, you're ugly.
That is some graphic.
So you brought me to life. You admit to that.
I guess.
Okay, alright, so we're getting somewhere. Is there any sort of agreement that may come about? You say yes, you say no. Why no? What does he do to completely harm you?
He killed my brother.
Because you abandoned me.
You're ugly as shit. I don't want to be seen in public with this freak show over here.
That's understandable. Pretty concrete in that opinion. You know, I think you might have to just take that your father's never gonna love you. He's your creator. He is.
So you're saying he's my father?
He's a father-like figure. That's what I'm gonna say.
Okay.
All right, folks. You know, sometimes things just don't work out, and that's the case right here. So let's give our guests a hand. Thank you for coming tonight, guys. There you go. Okay, hey.
Girl, you stink, take a bath. Girl, you stink, take a bath. Girl, you stink, take a bath. Girl, you stink, take a bath.